RW Wrestling Podcast old guy is back, and he's back with another random mass daily match review. And I got a good one here. I got it's 3 times as nice. I got Joey Janela versus Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc. And they're wrestling under the AEW banner. This is the event they're wrestling at is All Out. The match happened on August 31st, 2019 at the Sears Center Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. And the match they're competing in is the Cracker Barrel Clash. Yeah. You wouldn't think it's too much with the sponsor name, but god damn it, might as well just call it a hardcore match. Might as well call it a no holds barred match. It was damn good. So much fun, and we'll talk a lot about that as this review goes on. When I turn the video on, I see that all 3 men are in the ring. So Joey Janela is ready, Darby Allin is ready, Jimmy Havoc is ready. The crowd is definitely ready. Ref says ring the bell, and here we go. Havoc leaves the ring immediately, and he goes and pulls out some chairs and a table from under the ring. And when he gets back in the ring, we see he has a staple gun. And for some reason, he decides to staple himself, and both Darby Allin and Janela attack Havoc with punches and kicks. Havoc bumps out of the ring. The crowd directs a "You sick fuck" chant to Jimmy Havoc. Both Janela and Allin join Havoc outside the ring, and where we see Janela slamming Havoc's head on the ring stairs. Janela and Allin punch Havoc a couple times, and then they both sit Havoc on a chair. And Joey Janela holds Havoc down while Darby Allin walks back over with a cup and some duct tape. Darby Allin duct tapes Havoc to the chair, and Darby Allin goes to get the cup while Joey Janela kicks Havoc a couple times. Darby Allin reveals that there are thumbtacks in the cup by pouring some into his hand and throws some on the ground. And Allin props back Havoc's head and drops the tacks in his hand into Jimmy Havoc's mouth, and then Janela duct tapes Havoc's mouth shut. And then Janela turns around and proceeds to superkick Darby Allin in the face. Janela throws Allin back in the ring. Allin gets right up and fakes a plancha. Then he misses a kick to Janela, but flips back into the ring and hits Janela with a tope suicida. Darby Allin tosses Janela into the ring, and then Janela goes into a corner and dodges the charge by Allin. And then Janela throws 2 punches to Darby Allin, and Darby Allin ducks them both. Allin comes back with a forearm to Janela. Darby Allin tries to throw Janela off the ropes, but Janela reverses Allin to the ropes. Allin, while holding on to Janela, jumps up to the top rope and hits a springboard arm drag to Janela. Allin ducks a Janela clothesline attempt and hits a flip-over stunner to Janela. Janela bumps to the ropes, and then Darby Allin climbs to the top rope and looks down to see Jimmy Havoc is still in the chair. He's duct taped and all that stuff. And Havoc looks up at him. He says, "I don't care, bring it." Darby Allin says, "Okay." And he gets hits a 360 senton from the top rope onto Jimmy Havoc. And the crowd pops huge for that. Nice little holy shit chant follows it. It's pretty cool to see. A 360 senton on a dude sitting in a chair. Allin climbs up to the apron and eats a running knee from Janela. Allin and Janela brawl on the apron, with Janela getting knocked down by a chop and a kick from Allin. Allin climbs to the top again, but Janela intercepts Allin with a forearm to the back. Janela picks up Darby Allin and wham! Freaking nails Darby Allin with Emerald Fusion on the apron, the hardest part of the ring. Ouch. Janela pulls a table. Janela drops down to the floor and pulls a table out from under the ring. And we see Jimmy Havoc is starting to move around. He finally is recovering from that 360 senton. Janela sets up the table and then crawls under it to get to Havoc. Havoc spits out the thumbtacks and throws them at Janela's face, and then slams Janela's head into a ring post. Havoc throws Janela into some ring stairs by the entrance ramp. Havoc tosses Janela into the ring. Havoc re-enters the ring with a chair, the staple gun, and a piece of paper. Jimmy Havoc runs at Janela in the corner and eats a boot for his efforts. Janela hops up to breath rope, but gets hit by a Shoryuken as well as a sit-out powerbomb by Havoc. Havoc goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. Havoc paper cuts Janela a few times on the webs of his fingers. Another "you sick fuck" chant is directed right at Jimmy Havoc. Havoc sits Janela in the chair and gives Janela another paper cut and uses a staple gun on Janela's head. Havoc then monkey flips Janela, but Janela holds on to the chair while he was sitting in and does a perfect flip while sitting in the chair. Really cool stuff. He landed straight on it's like he just moved his chair across the ring and with him still sitting in it. It's like he did. It was perfect. He easily could have fallen over. I don't know how he did it. Really cool stuff. Havoc was not amused though, and he was not amused by Janela's agility. He walks up to Janela and paper cuts the inside of Janela's lips. Havoc attempts an acid rainmaker, but eats a brainbuster onto the chair. Darby Allin hadn't seen Allin in a while, and then we'd see him, and now we get to see him climbing up to the apron, and Janela runs at Allin, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Darby Allin is climbing up to the apron, and Janela runs at Darby Allin, whose back is turned to Janela, and Janela absolutely crushes himself and Darby Allin with a flipping powerbomb over the top rope, through the table, outside of the ring. Wham! Both men are down. Darby Allin is selling on the floor. Janela looks like he's unconscious. A holy shit chant breaks out. Actually, Janela's actually okay. He gets up first, and he's listening to a Cracker Barrel chant being rained down by the fans. Janela runs to another ring post and climbs to the top rope looking for a moonsault, but there's nobody home. Splat. I mean, jeez, what the fuck was that? I mean, all I saw on the camera was Janela going for a moonsault to Havoc, and Havoc was out of the camera. All you see is Janela is just like in the camera, flat on the ground. He pancaked himself practically. And JR was like, what the hell was he thinking? Havoc had to have moved out of the way, but it just looks like he missed. Janela just did it on his own because you just don't see Havoc on screen moving. So hell of a bump there from Janela. Jesus Christ. Havoc picks up a tray of biscuits and throws them at Janela. Stiff stuff right there. Havoc walks up the entrance ramp and drags another barrel down the ringside. A "We Want Barrels" chant breaks out. Havoc walks over to Janela, and Janela low blows Havoc. Havoc crawls back into the ring, and Janela is still selling his moonsault miss. Yeah, I'm not even sure where Darby Allin is. I guess he's over there by where he got pile drove into that table, or powerbombed into that table. Back in the ring, Janela hits Havoc with a running lariat. And now we see Darby Allin crawling up on the ring apron with a skateboard. Janela runs at Darby Allin and gets hit by the skateboard. Havoc tries to punch Darby Allin, but Darby Allin blocks the punch with the skateboard. Ouch, that had to hurt. I mean, and then I learned at this point that the bottom of the skateboard is covered with tack, so double ouch to Jimmy Havoc. So this tack-laden skateboard is again used by Allin on Janela. Darby Allin climbs to the top turnbuckle, skateboard in hand, and Darby Allin executes an ollie onto Janela's back, and wham! Oh, dude, Darby Allin just put about 8 thumbtacks onto Janela's back with that ollie off the top rope. Jesus. Darby Allin goes for a cover, but Havoc pulls Allin off of Janela. Outside the ring, Havoc throws Janela into the ring steps and then does it again. Havoc starts to set up the table. He gets one set of the legs set up, but Darby Allin out of nowhere nails Havoc with a truss fall off the apron through the table. Darby Allin climbs up to the apron, but jumps back down to throw Havoc into the ring steps. Allin brings the ring steps right in front of the entrance ramp. Yeah, but you must have something cool in mind for those steps, right? I mean, what else are you gonna do with them? Just let them sit there? Allin puts Havoc on the steps and hits him a few times. Allin grabs one of the barrels and climbs up to the apron with it. He climbs up to the apron with it, still with the barrel in his hands. Allin climbs up to the top rope and oh boy, no. Allin situates himself at the top rope with his back to Havoc, holding the barrel on his back. And no way, dude, no. Here we go. Wham! Oh my God. Trust fall goes bad for Allin. Havoc has moved out of the way, and Allin obliterates the barrel and himself on the ring steps. Good Lord, what a spot. And that has to be the kill shot for Darby Allin. It has to be. He ain't moving. Back in the ring, Havoc scales the turnbuckles, but is intercepted by Janela. Janela has Havoc in a headlock with Havoc's feet up on the top rope, and wham, DDT from Janela. Havoc is down while Janela climbs to the top rope. Janela drops the perfect elbow onto Havoc, bam, and then Janela gets a 2 count. Janela leaves the ring and brings the other barrel into the ring and places it on top of Havoc. Janela thinks that barrel is going to stay there and climbs to the top rope again, but is intercepted by an uppercut from Havoc, who pushed the barrel aside. Havoc joins Janela on the top rope and delivers a superplex to Janela onto the barrel. Actually, I'm sorry, only Janela's leg hit the barrel. Havoc picks up Janela and absolutely crushes Janela with a freaking acid rainmaker, and bam! And at 14:58, Havoc wins the Crackle Barrel Clash, and the crowd's going nuts for Jimmy Havoc. Wow, what a freaking match, man! He put that acid rainmaker through the barrel as well. I meant to mention that. So Havoc celebrates as Allin sells on the floor. Janela is starting to move as Havoc walks up the entrance ramp. Havoc turns around and acknowledges the fans as he walks to the back. Allin is being helped up the entrance ramp, but he hears a Darby chant and tells the EMTs to fuck off. He can walk to the back on his own, doesn't need any help. And which he does as we cut to black. All right. So, this Cracker Barrel Clash was loads of fun. Okay, so see how my opinion of a match changes when it's advertised, right? Yeah, so this wasn't billed as just a simple triple threat match. It was billed as a triple threat match under hardcore rules, essentially. So I knew what to expect, and I got exactly what I thought was going to happen. Hardcore gloriousness. Very nicely done, guys. All right, so I want to break this down wrestler by wrestler because I feel like I want to see which of these 3 guys was more hardcore over the other. So let's start with Jimmy Havoc because he's the one who got the ball rolling. He brought in a couple chairs and a staple gun. He actually stapled himself, which is strange. I don't know what he got. Okay, he got himself taped to a chair. He got thumbtacks put down his mouth, and his mouth taped shut with the tacks still in it. Later, as he was still tied to the chair, he begged for and received that senton from Darby Allin. Then Havoc paper cuts Janela a few times. And he would use a staple gun on Janela as well. He punched that tacked up skateboard, and he got put through a table via a trust fall from Darby Allin. All right, so on to Darby Allin. Darby Allin bought out the thumbtacks and the duct tape, and we know what he did with those. He performed a 360 senton from the top rope to that tied up Havoc. He took that flipping powerbomb to a table, and he brought in and used a tacked up skateboard, and that trust fall with the barrel was fucking brutal. Janela took some paper cuts and staples from Havoc. He put Darby Allin to that table with that beautiful power bomb. Still, is part of my favorite spot in the match next to that the trust fall miss. He missed a moonsault and just pancaked himself on the ring floor. I still don't understand that one. If it was caught on TV, it would have looked a little bit better, but still, what a bump. And he took that ollie from Allin, and he got a bunch of tacks stuck in his back, and maybe about 6 or 8 of them were stuck in there. So they showed it for numerous times. So between the 3 men, I'm already going to eliminate Janela from contention for the most hardcore. So except for the powerbomb and the skateboard spots, everything was either kind of silly, like the paper cuts and all that was kind of silly, or something that could have happened in any kind of match that he was in when he missed that moonsault and he just pancaked himself. So that leaves Havoc and Darby Allin. So this is actually pretty tough. So I had to sit there and split some hairs here. So Havoc ate some tacks, and Allin used a tacked up skateboard. Havoc took a 360 senton while in a chair. Allin took a power bomb through a table. But that's where the similarities end. So I think the paper cuts and staples were this stuff was a bit silly. I mean, to be honest, he didn't really give him any paper cuts, and that staple gun, there's no way it got through Janela's hair, so there's no reason for me to believe that it really hurt him. Although I will say this though, Excalibur did a great job to make these paper cuts seem brutal, but I just wasn't sold on him. Besides, anything Havoc did couldn't compare to that Cracker Barrel trust fall miss. Jesus Christ. So I mean, Darby Allin is his generation's Mick Foley, Jeff Hardy, Sabu, or whoever else you want to compare him to. He has zero issues risking his body to pop the crowd, and so Darby Allin is my Mr. Hardcore in this match, and pretty much in all of wrestling at this moment. It's one thing to be hardcore, and just put your body on the line. I don't think he bled in this match, and like people think that bleeding is hardcore, and it's not. It's what you do physically without blood that makes me think that's more hardcore than bleeding, because you're making me think that you're killing yourself without even bleeding. So a lot of guys like EDCW were bleeding a lot, and that happened a lot all the way through the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And now you got guys like Darby Allin who are able to do that same thing without cutting themselves to shreds. I think that's even more impressive than bleeding, because I'm still like thinking that Darby Allin is killing himself without having to cut himself open, make himself bleed all over the place. I hope he finds a way to tone it down though at some point, because I mean, I could watch him in the ring forever. He's so smooth and graceful, and he moves from one thing to the next, and it's effortless for him. He's the current AEW TNT champion, and quite frankly, he has the look and ability to go all the way. But I think he needs to tone it down just a little bit. I mean, use what gets you there. That's your trademark. It's going to have to stay with you the rest of your career, probably. But tone it down a little bit. Darby, you can make it all the way to the top. So I gave this match a 9. The only real negative was the kind of the silly paper cuts and the stupid staple gun. It was more silly than hardcore. To me, it wasn't believable that it hurt anybody. So that was my only negative. So nice hardcore match. I'm going to cut it off right here, and I'm going to come back tomorrow with another random masculine match review. Have a good night.